Well, good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of FightbackMedia.com, 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 and FightbackMediaTV.com. I trust that you are well this glorious Monday morning. Monday. We're here. We're here. Today, for the most part, we're going to discuss something that I don't know, that's not being, I don't know, talked about like we talk about it. And that's not true. That's not true. There's finally some information that's being disseminated in a way that we would have done it. Maybe because they actually are starting to watch the Morning Report. They're starting to pay attention to what we do here and how we do it. We're going to talk about the spy balloon. I know you've been hearing about the spy balloon all weekend, but you haven't heard it from us. So we're going to talk about the spy balloon. No, I am not a graduate of the University of Indiana. I did not attend the University of Indiana. One of my really good friends, their kid, is going to the University of Indiana. And one of the things I whined about is that now that he's going to the University of Indiana, where is my University of Indiana gear? Where is my IU gear? I've known him since he was born. And Jordan, right on. He is at IU as a freshman doing good things. It's been a fresh. Well, hey everybody, my name is Willie Lawson, and you guys know that I do a lot of stuff on the internet. And you may think with what's happening on Twitter and what's happening on Facebook and what happened to Parler that the mainstream social media sources are really trying to rid themselves of conservative voices. And you'd be right. They most certainly are. But you know what? It isn't as bad as you think it is. It's worse. But there are people who are willing to be platformed for free speech. One of those places is freedomforum.website. Freedomforum.website. You can go there and speak your mind. So come join us. Enjoy the freedom. Enjoy the fun. If you are a true blue conservative, small businesses are near and dear to your heart. They are the lifeblood of our life and economy. I believe this, and that's why my florist is not a website or phone number. My florist is Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, Tampa's premier flower shop. At 11618 North Florida Avenue here in Tampa, Florida, and at 6835 State Road 54 in Newport Richey. Call Christine at 813-933-1942 and at 727-232-6900. She can also be reached on the web at www.bloomingdays.com. One of the things that I get asked most is where can I get information that is not tainted with liberal bias, especially here in the Tampa Bay area. Well, now I have the answer. tbctampa.com, a website by and for Tampa area conservatives. Tampa's leading conservative voices speak freely at tbctampa.com. And you can too. So join the fun and enjoy the freedom at tbctampa.com. My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the Morning Report. Well, hey, how y'all doing? It's good to see you again. My name is Willie Lawson. Welcome to the Morning Report. There has been a what ostensibly, as we're finding out, is a Chinese um, spy balloon that's flown over the United States. There may even be a couple of them that has flown over the United States. Now, the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm sure came to your mind because you're smart like me, is this: what in the heck? If this isn't the middle finger to the United States from China, what is? I'm thinking, so you're not spying on us from a satellite? Something that pretty much everybody knows is happening. We know when they move stuff. They know when we move stuff. So they already know. So this is the Chinese middle finger to the Biden administration. Hey, look, we're sending up a balloon, something you can see, to check y'all out, and you're not going to do anything about it. It's a big Chinese middle finger. Well, the military has finally shot this balloon down, which they should have done, my estimation and your estimation, the moment that it was found out to be an unmanned Chinese balloon that was spying on the United States. Soon it was found to be unmanned and unarmed, it should have been shot down immediately. So the U.S. military has shot that balloon down. They did that on Saturday as it made its way over the Atlantic Ocean. Uh, Shortly over the Atlantic Ocean, think about this. Where's China? China is on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. So now it's made its way all the way across the country. There we shoot it down. So shortly after the government announced the Chinese spy balloon was shot down, President Joe Biden said he authorized the Pentagon to do this days ago. First of all, it's balloon. He said this: I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday, as soon as possible. Biden told reporters on Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days later. Well, they couldn't catch it. An F-22 Raptor couldn't catch up to the balloon. That's a quick balloon. Afterburners. Ridiculous. Of course it could. So they decided, without doing any damage to the people on the ground, and they decided that the best time to do it when it got over water within the 12-mile limit. So the idea is the story that we're supposed to buy is this: that they were just waiting for it to get over open water within the 12-mile limit, which was inside U.S. waters. So when it fell, it wouldn't fall and possibly injure people, or we wouldn't be able to get to it to find out what the real story was, what the real deal is. What is this thing that they say is a Chinese spy balloon? What is it really? If it fell over land, maybe me or you, some of my best redneck friends with a side by side could track it, find out what it is. Correct? See? See? So Biden continued to claim that he ordered to shoot down the balloon Wednesday, adding, they said to me to wait for the safest place to do it. Well, the safest place to do it was immediately. They just didn't want you or I to find out what they shot down. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said the president did give him orders to take the balloon down a few days ago. However, the military decided to wait until the surveillance balloon was no longer a risk to American lives, or it had already done its job. It already had transferred the information to wherever it was going. It didn't have the balloon's not a homing pigeon. It didn't have to return back with a VHS tape so they could read it. It had done its job by then. 3 days had passed, and it had done what it was going to do. It didn't matter what happened to it at that point. It didn't even matter if it got shot down at that point. This is what they're not telling us. On Wednesday, President Biden gave his authorization to take down the surveillance balloon as soon as the mission could be accomplished without undue risk to American lives under the balloon's path. In Montana, there are 5 people, 4 now, because one of them moved to Florida, 5 people who live in Montana. There's 9 people who live in Wyoming. There's plenty of blank area, plenty of blank space. It could have been taken down. It could have been taken down over the Great Lakes. There's plenty of places where people don't live. That's not the reason. And if these people believe that we think that what they're saying to us is anywhere near true, they are out of their tree. They're out of their mind. They're outside their mind. Earlier on Saturday, the FAA issued a ground stop to shoot down the Chinese spy balloon once it crossed over the Atlantic Ocean. According to officials, the FAA ordered a ground stop at 3 airports in closed airspace in parts of North and South Carolina, effective until 2:45 Eastern Time, citing national security initiatives. So as it crossed out of North and South Carolina and it got into the Atlantic Ocean, as it crossed the entire breadth of the country, it was shot down. However, it is unclear if President Joe Biden has declared a final decision on the plan or not. Earlier on Saturday, Biden answered reporters' questions on the issue, saying, "We're going to take care of it." The Chinese spy balloon surveillance balloon was last seen flying over the southeastern U.S. early Saturday in parts of North and South Carolina as it made its way to the Atlantic coast. They've shot it down, apparently. You know, what's interesting is that if it had come over Florida man would have this thing on the Facebook marketplace, because that's how we do. We'll be back with more of the story about the Chinese spy balloon right after these messages. So is it okay now, because it was, during the Trump administration, it is okay to talk about the president's
yeah. We talked about mental health elderly, so let's talk about this guy mental health.
The president's mental acuity, because there's sometimes where it seems to be lacking. Have you seen?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's especially bad. I mean, I'm talking about sometimes it's like really bad. Like, have you seen the picture?
I was told not to take any questions.
I was told not to take any questions. They told they're going to be mad at me.
They're going to be mad at me.
Mr.
President, are you the president, or were you 5?
You see, what I want. See, the next question is, excuse me,
I was told to call on what you call for NBC. Who's telling you to call on?
That's the question that we ought to be asking. Who's telling you this?
I mean, I don't understand why nobody won't ask that question.
Is Jen Psaki actually the president?
Who's telling you to call on these people in the media?
Is Jen Psaki actually the president?
Probably so.
Well, hey, we're back. Thank you again for spending some time with us here on the Morning Report. Again, the Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Trust that you are well. We are back on YouTube, and I almost screwed it up again by uploading a Morning Report that had the same clip that they shut the channel down for a week. Almost uploaded that, but they I gotta say, their AI caught it, and before I could get it uploaded, it shut down that upload. So I was able to escape. So anyway, it's stupid, but it's where we are. It's just where we are at this point. We are in the wonderful world of stupid. Remember the wonderful world of Disney? Now we're in the wonderful world of stupid. But in any case, that's where we are. And listen, we are hoping that this month we can get to half of the number of subscribers we need, because I am still of the mind that we can battle back for some monetization. It's going to be a long haul, and it's not going to be easy, and they're not simply not going to roll over and give it to us. But we have to have all the benchmarks. We have to have the number of subscribers and the number of hours watched and all the stuff. You have to come correct with all the stuff before we can say, hey, listen, we deserve the same opportunity everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? Although my AdSense account has been suspended for months, years, I think that it's important that we are able to grow this year. I mentioned last year that last year was a year of growth and expansion, as is the future. There isn't any way or any reason to shrink back. So if you can share this video with your friends and neighbors and the people who aren't your friends or maybe aren't your neighbors, and get them to subscribe and watch the videos, that would be very, very helpful. All right. U.S. intelligence admits that that Chinese surveillance balloons allegedly crossed over the United States several times in the past. However, they went, quote, undetected. Now, okay, you're smart. You're thinking the very same thing that I'm thinking. So how can you be sure that something was that flew over the United States several times, but were undetected? And if they were undetected, how could you possibly know that they flew over the United States several times before? How could you know if they were indeed undetected? Excuse me? So according to U.S. officials, a Chinese spy balloon allegedly flew over the country 4 months ago, but crashed near Hawaii. So did it fly over the country from the Atlantic over the country into the Pacific and then crashed near Hawaii? Or did it fly up to Hawaii and then crash in Hawaii and not actually fly over the... Whew, these people are lying. A senior Biden administration official said that Chinese spy balloons flew over the country at least 3 times during the Trump administration, as well as parts of Texas and Florida. Now, what I know is that if it had been seen by one of our Florida men guys, it would be on Facebook Marketplace. You know that as well as I do. However, former Trump officials debunked the Biden administration claims that Chinese surveillance balloons flew over the nation, telling Fox News that it never happened. U.S. intelligence, not the Biden administration, assesses that PRC government surveillance balloons transited the continental United States briefly at least 3 times during the prior administration, and once that we know of at the beginning of this administration, but never for this duration of time, the official said. The official claimed that the spy balloons are, quote, part of a larger pattern that is often undertaken at the direction of the People's Liberation Army. These balloons are all part of the PRC fleet of balloons developed to conduct surveillance operations, which have also violated the sovereignty of other countries. The official continued. Probably. Officials close to the Trump administration said that the Biden White House is spreading disinformation, and that Beijing respected Trump greatly under his leadership. Beijing didn't respect Trump. They were scared witless of Trump. Trump was such a wild card, or so they thought. They said it never happened with us under the Trump administration, and if it did, we would have shot it down immediately. Yeah, Trump said this in response to the Biden administration claims. Trump added that the Biden clan is incompetent and they look so bad as usual. Former Trump White House National Security Advisor John Bolton, who is dying to get into this war. He is foaming at the mouth. If he said it didn't happen, it probably didn't happen. Because he'd have been like, get Florida man on the phone. We're going to war. Where the highest DEFCON is, hit the button. That would have been bold, right? You know, that would have been bold. China is unhappy. I don't care. You care? China's mad. Oh no, China's mad. The Chinese spy balloon fiasco could have been avoided. At least that's the feeling. And if you don't need a security clearance to have that assumption, we have the capability to track these devices. We've been on pins and needles regarding missile launches since the Cold War. Remember, we have never saw this balloon coming. It's a balloon, one that measured 3 bus lengths and drifted at high altitudes, but a balloon nonetheless. China regretted this spy balloon, which hovered over areas where we house what? Nuclear missiles. Montana is where passengers on a commercial airline reportedly spotted this Beijing bag of tricks launched from central China. Passengers on a regular commercial flight said, "What the hell is that? Hey, Margaret, is that a balloon? That's a balloon up here with the airplane at 38,000 feet. Let me get my phone." China's reaction to the U.S. was unexpected. Don't have a record of this because the balloon drifted off course. For once, Joe Biden made the right call by wanting to shoot it down. The Penthouse advised against it. Wow. This spy balloon drifted with impunity across the United States skies for days. It just all over the country for days. Days before it got shot down yesterday. And Beijing was none too pleased. According to NBC, the U.S. downed the Chinese surveillance balloon off the Carolina coast on Saturday. A U.S. official said, setting off a tense exchange between the nations. An F-22 Raptor with a single missile shot at the balloon down at 2:39 p.m. According to a senior defense official, it was between 60,000 and 65,000 feet in the air when it was down. It's up there. The action came a couple of hours after President Joe Biden responded to a reporter who asked whether the U.S. would shoot down the balloon. "We're going to take care of it," Biden said in his first public remarks about the balloon. In remarks to the reporters after the balloon was shot down, Biden said he made the order to the Pentagon after he was briefed on Wednesday. The U.S.-China exchanged strong words after the balloon was down, with China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressing in the statement its strong dissatisfaction and protest over the U.S. force. Okay, so you fly a surveillance balloon over my house, I'm gonna shoot that pig down, and now you're mad. Life's harder when you're stupid. The Chinese side had clearly requested the U.S. side to handle the situation properly in a calm, professional, restrained manner and fly a plane at 65,000 feet and blow it out of the sky. And then when it landed, set that on fire. Maybe a pay-per-view event. The Chinese side will resolutely safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of the companies concerned while reserving the right to make further necessary responses. The reasoning behind not shooting it down upon discovery was the fear of falling debris could kill civilians. Yeah, something falling at 60,000 feet on on your big head is a problem. The Biden administration initial response ranged from shambles to snippy, as people wondered how the Pentagon, which oversees the largest defense budget in the world, was afraid of a balloon. Couldn't figure it out. You have the largest defense budget in the world, and you are hamstrung by a balloon. Yeah, people were pissed off. A balloon? A dirigible? A blimp? We have an F-22 Raptor, which is a badass piece of machinery. This should not have been a problem. And China, and this idea of this terse response. The fact of the matter is, you probably know that the China went, it happened. You caught us this time, right? Really doubt if anybody cares. Like I said before, shot over water, so none of us could find it and find out what's really going on here. Right? All right. Listen, we got to get out of here, make room for somebody else. Thank you again for returning to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a collection of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. And again, until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.